Back on Inside Tennessee, again, the Democratic convention is coming up next week, and somebody who will be there from Knoxville is Mayor India Kincannon. This is what she said about whether we will see Vice President Kamala Harris visit Knoxville before the election.
Tennessee's not really in play at this juncture, and she's probably needs to spend her time in places that will have a bigger impact on the outcome of the election. But I think she's going to win Knoxville.
Confidence there again. John North, the mayor is referencing the Electoral College vote. Tennessee's 11 Electoral College votes likely firmly in the hands of Republicans. Democrats and Republicans both agree on that.
We're kind of like the island of lost toys. Once again, we are ignored when Santa comes around. But things will change someday. I would love to see some money spent on Tennessee airwaves for these two presidential candidates, please.
This week we did see President Donald Trump come to Asheville, North Carolina.
Former president, just to make some of us feel a little better.
He is President Trump. I'm calling him that.
All right.
Susan, you saw him in person in Milwaukee. Explain the vibe in that convention, because it seemed for Democrats and Republicans coming out of that duo was going to be unstoppable.
There's no question about that. I got up to Milwaukee on Saturday, the day that President Trump was shot. And you can imagine the conversations and the turmoil that was existing with that. And I do think it sort of brought all the disparate parts together, and we do have some. There are still some moderates in our party. I will say from Tennessee, it was a Trump delegation. There's no question about it. A lot of people that I'd never seen at a Republican event, they're just Trump people. And there was a lot of that in our delegation. So a lot of enthusiasm for Trump. And, you know, Biden was still going to be the nominee at that point in time. And I think everybody felt very confident that Trump would beat Joe Biden. Well, that's all changed now, of course.
Well, I think after watching P.J. Vance's performance in the last 10 days.
J.D.
Vance, P.J. Vance.
Whatever, J.D. Vance, I think people, Sarah Palin sitting back going, you like me now.
So, Don, let's talk about how Democrats need to capitalize on this new look in Chicago. If you're advising them, what do you say?
Well, they have to try to maintain the excitement. It's going to ebb and flow, and everybody calls it a honeymoon period. The nice thing about Vice President Harris and Tim Walz is that I think they will maintain the energy. They have the stamina and the vigor, which frankly, that's what Joe Biden was lacking. He was not going to be able to get out and do what they do. They've hit countless stops in battleground states since it came out that she was going to be the nominee. And again, when you couple that with the issues that really resonate all the way across about guns and abortion and voting rights, that literally transcend both parties, that trend towards the Democrats, and with Trump just getting crazier and crazier, and with his vice presidential candidate not doing a very good job, if they can just keep the focus, keep the message, keep the energy going, I feel very good right now about the Democrats' chances.
Well, at some point, they're going to have to talk about policy, and they haven't done that. Nope. She hasn't agreed to do any interviews up to this point. She's been... Well,
she has one coming up. I believe she said she's going to do a press conference.
Well, it'll be interesting to see. She has a lot of flip-flops out there that will be
No, your party
about.
Presents it as such.
I want to ask you about that, John, because we're hearing just in the morass of the internet that, hey, we need some vetting here. Reporters need to dig into the background of the vice president. They need to dig into the background of her choice for vice president. Do you think we'll see that over the coming weeks that will air a little bit more?
I imagine it's happening right now. I imagine you've got New York Times, Washington Post, Politico, et cetera, local reporters digging right now to try to find that out. Maybe they'll turn up something. We'll see. But yeah, they will have to work fast and hard.
Well, what's interesting, both the Democratic candidates have had it for a very long time, and both with Governor Walz and Vice President Harris. So I don't know they'll find much new. They might.
So far, we've seen more about Vance than we have anybody else,
Well,
because everybody's
there's
digging
a lot
up.
out there about Walls, that his military record,
And it's been debunked at nearly every turn. So
no, it hasn't. He actually
has.
admitted that he did not go to war and carry a gun in the war.
And he said that.
Yes.
And he said that from the beginning. And
No,
so,
he did not say it from the beginning, Don.
Well, he
did
was
not.
also in the reserves for more than 20 years.
24
was he not?
years as a senior master chief sergeant, and again, everybody's saying he stolen valor. It's not uncommon that when you're discharged, you are reduced slightly in rank if you haven't finished a certain program. That happened to my father, so very common.
But again, do your homework.
Yes.
Don't just believe the internet. Read about these candidates.
Disbelieve
More
the
to
internet.
come.
Watch
Disbelieve.
us.
We appreciate you watching on this Sunday morning. We'll see you back here next week. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.